podcast, a podcast about all my knitty adventures. My name is Laura and I'm the host. I am coming to you from Kildare in Ireland, where I live with my parents, my two sisters and my cat Neo. It's been a while since I've been with you. I think it's coming up on 3 weeks. Sorry guys. So for all returning viewers, welcome back and nice to have you again. And for all new viewers, thanks for checking me out. If you enjoy what you see, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If not, that's perfectly acceptable. You can move right along. Today is the 8th of October 2017 and it is a regular kind of autumnal day here in Ireland, a bit grey, a bit dreary, but it's dry enough, which is good. It is a Sunday, so I am not in work, which is good. I will leave all of the places you can find me down below in the description box on YouTube and under the video in the Ravelry group as well, if you are looking at me from there. So a little bit of admin stuff. I closed the thread for the Socks Escal, which I was running back about in September. I was meant to close it back then, but it is closed now and I have drawn a winner using random number generator, and the number that came out was number 8, and that is Gojo from Belfast. So congratulations Joe, you are the winner. So Joe knit 2 pairs of socks. So the premise of the call was to knit 2 pairs of socks in a certain time period, and Joe knit 2 of Mina Phillips, the Knitting X back patterns, the Yorkville and the Central Park socks, and they turned out really, really nice. One of the colourways that she used, I've actually used in a pair of vanilla socks, which I love. But yeah, so if you can get in touch with me on Ravelry Joe, and just give me your address, I will get that prize sent out to you hopefully this week. And thanks so much for taking part. There will be more knit alongs coming up in the coming weeks and months. I have a few ideas, so make sure to keep an eye out on the podcast. I'll announce it here, or on Instagram or in the Ravelry group as well, so make sure you go over and join that. Another piece of admin, my good friend Corolla, who is on Babbles VKNs. So my other friend Grace hosts virtual knit nights on her channel, Babbles Travelling Yarns, and there's a Facebook group and on Instagram for that. I'll have the details below. So we usually have virtual knit nights. There's scheduled times on Tuesday, Saturday and Sunday mornings, and one of the regular participants there is Corolla, who is the psychic knitter on Instagram, and she also has started dyeing yarn, and her Etsy shop is called Otherworldly Yarns, and she is very kindly giving a discount code for the month of October, so make sure you go over and hop on that and make some purchases because her colourways are really, really beautiful. So the discount code is Otherworldly 10. I'll have it down below in the show notes. I'll have it in the show notes actually, so if you hop over to the Ravelry group you'll be able to find it there, and that gives 10% off your order. So make sure you go over and check out what she has because it's really, really pretty. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. So I think that's all the admin stuff. So let's get on to the knitting. So I've been away for 3 weeks, so hopefully I have some finished objects, and I do. So let me show you. Firstly, I think I had started this one, so I will show it to you first. So this is my antler hat by Tin Can Knits. And I knit this out of Studio Donegal. They're kind of tweed, it's kind of a worsted weight, I'd say. It's this kind of beige oatmeal-y colour with black and white kind of tweed flecks. and I just added a faux fur pom-pom. I'll try it on so you can see. So I knit the small adult size. Ooh. So it's nice and snug and tight, and I like the pom-pom, and the cables are really pretty. I love cables for kind of autumn, winter times. I'm actually knitting a sweater with the cables, which I will show you later. But yeah, I love this hat. It's really, really warm. I'm going to New York in, what date is today? 8th. In 9 days. No, 11 days. I'm going on the 19th of October. And I can't wait. Ooh. But I need a new cozy hat to wear while I'm there, because it can be a bit nippy, I've heard. So this is the antler hat by Tin Can Knits. It was very, very fast knit. I love it very much. I entered it into the Grocery Girls Tin Can Knit Along, which I think it's still going on. So if you guys are knitting any Tin Can Knits patterns, enter it into win prizes. But I love this hat so much. It is quite tight. I didn't do gauge. I never really do gauge swatches. The only time I do gauge swatches are for jumpers. So I didn't even check gauge when I was doing this. If I was doing it again, I might do the large adult size for myself. But I think this will stretch once I wear it a bit. It is quite constricting on the head, but that's good to keep it warm and snuggly. I do have to I've got the ends woven in, I just need to trim them, so I will do that and then it's good to go. But that is finished object number 1. Finished object number 2 is another hat. I've gone on a hat spree. So this is like a beret style hat. It is lace. Not sure if it's going to show how to show this lace the best. So this is the Mary Margaret Tam, which I believe is based on a hat worn in the show Once Upon a Time. I've never watched it. It's on my list, but I think that's one of the characters in it wears a hat very similar to this. So I will try this on for you also. I also have to trim the ends on this, they're woven in. So this is quite a slouchy, it's knit in fingering weight yarn. So this yarn is Fine Fish Yarns Maven, and I only used about 30 grams. It's fingering weight, so I have 70 grams of yarn left. This is the colour. It's beautiful. So it's kind of a very light pale purple, kind of greyish purple, and yeah, I love this hat very, very much. So I really like this kind of style of beret type loose slouchy kind of hat for style. I don't know if it's keeping the warmest, but it's stylish, which is important also. So I want to knit a pair of mitts with this. I've got 70 grams left, so I think I should have enough for a pair of mitts. If you have any suggestions of patterns, fingering weight mitts, that will be good to match this, to how I have it set. Please let me know down below. That would be greatly appreciated. Yes, but I love this hat. I might leave it on actually, so I can podcast in style. So this is the Mary Margaret Tam by, I can't remember the name of the designer. Margaret Kramer maybe? Mary Kramer. Ooh, I'll have it linked in the show notes. I'm dreadful. Oopsies. Okay. And last but not least, I have another finished object. This is great. So my third and final finished object is the Fergus socks by Anna Freeberg, who is Yarnisty on Instagram and Ravelry, I believe. And she has some really, really pretty patterns. I really love the Carl the Typographer pattern as well. I'm going to do them socks definitely soon. So these are kind of like a diamondy pattern. Sock blockers. So they're nice and blocked now. So they have, so the pattern, I realised as I was about halfway up the foot, you're supposed to do the diamond pattern on the back of the leg as well, but I did not. So these are toe-up socks. So on the sole of the foot you're knitting in stockinette, so you don't do the pattern. However, you're supposed to start the pattern after the heel flap and gusset, but I did not. But I like being able to see the stockinette. I think it works. It works anyway. So these were my second pair of toe-up socks. My first pair of toe-up socks with the heel flap and gusset, and they fit really, really well. I really, really am happy with the fit of these socks, and I love that pattern so much. So this yarn as well is amazing. This is Ellie and Ada in the Waka 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 colourway, which was a colourway Laura dyed for the Irish Dye Junkies nights that are on Facebook, and the theme was the Muppets. So this was based on Fozzie Bear, I believe, and yeah, I love them. So these are my Fozzie Fergus socks, and this is my first entry into the Outlander knit along, which Grace of Babel's Travelling Yarns is hosting over in her group at the moment. So I think that's an ongoing knit along until the current season of Outlander has finished up. I think they're on episode 4 or 5 at this stage. There's usually about 13, so you still have a lot of time to hop on if you are interested in Outlander, and you should be, because it's really, really good. I recommend it. So that is finished object number 3, and pair of socks number 6 or 7 for the year for myself. So yay, yay, love it. So that's them. So that is all my finished objects, which isn't bad. I'm happy with them all. They're quite small. I need to get another pair of socks on the needles because I don't, and I'm behind on my sock knitting total for the year, so I need to get going on another pair. I have plans, but I haven't yet picked up any yarn for them, so maybe today. I'll try to do it today. So moving on to works in progress, we have the Breakwater sweater, which is by Cecily Glowick MacDonald. I think I showed this last time. I think I was working on it. So I'm nearly done. One sleeve to go. So here she is. So I've got ends everywhere, so do ignore them. It's a 3/4 length sleeve sweater, and it just has this kind of woven stitch detail on the cuffs and on the sleeve, on the neckline as well. So this neckline is rolling, which is annoying me, so there's going to be some blocking needed. So there's the front. It's very simple. So I'm just on the second sleeve. I should hopefully have this done this week. I'm going to have this done this week. This is my project for the bus this week. So this sleeve, I should get this done. I might even get this done this evening if I put my mind to it. Wouldn't take long. Put on a film maybe, or a podcast, and zip through it. So that is my Breakwater sweater. This yarn is Ellie and Ada again. It is the unicorns and glass slippers colourway, I think. And this was another of the Irish Dye Junkies nights. I think this was Hans Christian Andersen, potentially, Fairy Tales. Can't remember. But it's this beautiful pink cream, kind of undyed, with speckles of red and orange, green and blue kind of sporadically through it. So that is that. So I just need to finish that sleeve, give it a wash and a block, and then I'll have a new jumper. So why haven't I finished it yet, you ask? Because I decided to cast on another jumper, which I have in my, at the moment it will have to be moved into another bag because this is too small, but I love this bag so much. These are my, here are my little French bulldogs, the blue glasses. I love this colour as well, this kind of chartreusey green. And there's lovely kind of tweed on the back. I love this bag. I got this up at Yarn Folk, one of the stalls. So this sweater that I'm working on now is the Chuck sweater by Andy Satterland. It is a worsted weight sweater and it's kind of cropped cables, really really pretty. I'll put a picture in of the pattern here if I recall. Yeah, so I was working on this last night on the virtual knit night, and we were talking, me and Grace were talking about it, and she actually caked up some yarn and started swatching to do one as well. So me and her are doing a little chuck along, knitting the chuck together. So here it is. So it's has a cable panel down the front. See these cables? So I got a good bit done. I got most of this done last night. So I've joined in the round now. And we are going to zoom down the body, do the sleeves. I'd love to have this done before I go to New York, which is in, as I said, 11 days. So still time. I could have it done. So this is being knit on 5mm needles on my High Sharp interchangeables. The yarn is just Cascade 220 in the red heather colorway. So it's kind of heathered red, blackish kind of heather, darker red. And I love this yarn. It's nice, it's superwash, so it will grow. So I did the swatch, washed and blocked it, and it was bang on, the swatch. So I'm doing the size, the 41-inch size, which seems to be good. So this is going to definitely stretch out. Yes, so this is my Chuck sweater so far. So here is the cables again, and just in stockinette on the back you can see the colour. I hope that's showing up. I can't see the screen. I'm going to improve my setup hopefully one day. Have a mirror so I can actually see what you guys see. Because I use the back camera because it's better than the front facing one on my iPhone. So hopefully that shows up well for you. Yes. So that is my second and only other work in progress. I need to get a pair of socks on the needles. I need to knit a pair of mitts for this yarn here with suggestions from you guys. So they are my next plans, and finish them 2 sweaters, of course. So other than that, that's all the knitting. Other than that, the reasons I've been away for so long, I've just been really, really busy. So work has been busy. I had a day volunteering at the DSPCA, which is the Dublin Society Protection Against the Cruelty of Animals, I think is what it stands for. Basically, I was walking dogs for a day. It was amazing. It was really, really good fun. We had a good day for it. It was nice and sunny. Just get the dogs out, get them out for a bit of exercise. So they are a bit tired out when people come to see them, so when they're getting rehomed they're not crazy. So you just bring them out for a walk and tire them out a bit. It was good fun. A lot of the dogs took me for a walk rather than me taking them for a walk. Bundles of energy, but it was a nice day out of the office. So as well as that, I take part in my local community's musical society. I haven't done it for the last few years, so this is my first year back. It's called Lark. It's the name of the musical society, and we this year are performing Into the Woods, the Stephen Sondheim musical, which is based on kind of a mishmash of a lot of the fairy tales. So Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel are all kind of in there, and it's kind of them characters that we know in a different perspective, I suppose. So I'm playing the role of one of Cinderella's ugly stepsisters, which is actually quite an interesting role. They're quite it's quite comedic, and we do a bit of singing, and we're very, very mean to Cinderella, but it's good fun. So rehearsals for that are 2 times a week, so I'm quite busy with that at the moment as well. So that's about it really. Myself and Dave are going on holidays to New York in 11 days. I think I mentioned that. Have I mentioned that yet? We're going to New York? No? So anyone who has any suggestions of places we need to go, things we need to eat, things like that, things we need to see, do, buy, whatever, please leave suggestions down below. Unfortunately, I will not be going to Rhinebeck, even though it is the same weekend that we are there. We're just going to go do touristy things, which is more than brilliant. Can't wait. We're so excited. My first time to New York, so yeah, any suggestions, let me know. Can't wait. So I think that's everything for this week. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Again, if you enjoyed what you've seen today, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And yes, I will see you again very soon. I promise this time it won't be 3 weeks again. Oh wait, maybe it will, because I'm away. Yes, it probably will be 3 weeks again now. I lie. Apologies. But I will see you when I see you. Lovely to talk to you all again. And bye.